So I've been wanting to do a video like this for some time now, and this is going to be unedited. I don't really have a script that I'm reading from. I have the points kind of in my head that I wanted to talk about. Um, like I said, unedited. I don't really have the means to do so. Um, I'm just on my phone. I just have my phone. Um, and editing videos on a phone is a pain. So there's that. There's going to be some background noise because I live by a highway. I have a little space heater in this room. I have a cat. So if there are any noises like that that might be distracting, I'm sorry. They can't really be helped. Um, so I should probably introduce myself. My name is Felicia. Um, and I just checked on PSN last night. I started playing the Yakuza series last January. January 16th, 2018 was the date on the trophy for visiting Kamurocho in 1988 for the first time. And so, yeah, my first game was Yakuza 0. It was at the insistence of my boyfriend at the time, who was a fan of the series and had been waiting for 0 for a while and had pre-ordered it and all that. But yeah, I didn't start playing it until much later. He had to kind of wear me down to play it. So I'm doing this video because I wanted to touch on some things. One thing that I retweeted today and one thing that I tweeted myself a little while ago. I basically live on Twitter. This video is I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then I'm going to put the link on Twitter because they don't allow for videos longer than a certain amount of time, and I'm already coming up on that time, I think. So that's what this is about. So Majima is my favorite character. I have a tendency to kind of latch on to certain characters pretty much right away when I play a game or watch a TV show or something like that. And Majima was that character. His introduction I still maintain it's the best introduction of any video game character in any video game I've ever played. It just cemented him as this really cool, really badass, character. And then you kind of see what he's going through, and then you see what he's tasked with, and I just immediately yeah, that's my guy. That's him. I was it. So I played. I got up to chapter 4 in a few days, and then I stopped playing it. The timestamp on the trophy for completing chapter 4 is January 20th. And then the next trophy I got for completing chapter 6 wasn't until May. So I started and stopped and then started it back. But once I replayed it and remembered why I had played it in the first place, why I had gotten as far as I did, it was just, I was in, kind of deep at that point. So, oh, I knew she was going to do that. My cat just jumped up, and I have some prints laid out on the bed, and she just jumped up on the bed directly onto one of the prints. Anyway, I had the prints on the bed because I was eventually going to get to the point of fandom and, that sort of thing. So there are some things, like I said, the things that I've tweeted myself, in regards to fandom and in regards to, like, stuff. The amount of stuff that you have can showcase kind of how much you love a character or a series or whatnot. So while I had, kind of expendable income, I accrued some things over the course of a few months in 2019 was when I really started, because I think in 2018 I was still really hardcore into My Little Pony and really big into Steven Universe, and so anything that when I went to anime conventions or whatever, I looked for those things, not necessarily pony at an anime convention, but whatever. And so I have the shirt that I got for $20 on Amazon. It is not an official shirt, but I wanted something representative of Majima. I have my Daki. um, I have the various. I unfortunately joined the fandom a little too late to get the Goromi zine, but I did get the Majimako zine, the Kazumaji zine, and the Majima Everywhere zine. And with all three of them, I kind of went balls out and got all of the premium packages with all the stickers and the prints and everything. So I've got the little mini prints that came with the Majima Everywhere one, and some of the Kazumaji ones. This one I really like. It's super cute. That Okito one is my favorite one from the Majima Everywhere zine, not gonna lie. And I have a couple of prints that I got off Etsy. I'm just gonna showcase. I bought them all because I love them all, but like my favorite ones are the Goromi one, which the artist put my name on, which I really appreciated. I'm gonna do research between recording this and putting it up and remember who I got these from. So this one I just really liked a lot. And this one with the snakes I love. This is the one my cat just stepped on that I got at ASEN last year. This past year, I should say, 2019's ASEN. Anime Central in Chicago. And I have this little guy, whom I adore. And I'm going to buy the Kiryu one. Apparently they go out of stock every now and again, so hopefully I'll be able to get my little mitts on his life partner there. But yeah, so I have these things, and I've also acquired through thrifting a lot of like snakeskin patterned clothes. I have a belt, I have a shawl, just these things that sort of represent him. And there are more things I could have, but I just don't have the money for everything I could possibly want. And also some of the things I would want my cat would ruin, like the cardboard cutout that a certain a certain other person that I follow on Twitter has, and I want desperately, but my cat eats cardboard, so I couldn't possibly have it in my room. I would love it, but you can't have everything. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people, they see, oh, you've got a lot of stuff relating to this character. That's dedication. And yeah, it is. But dedication is also shown in a lot of different ways. I have a lot of things pertaining to him. I have plans for when I do have, disposable income again, fingers crossed that I ever do, for a tattoo that's going to be reminiscent of him. I don't really know what yet. I'm leaning toward a half sleeve, but I know that's going to be expensive. And it's something that you kind of have to live with as someone who, has bills to pay and has to feed themselves and all of that. You have to manage your money smartly, and sometimes that means going without. And what that was, when I tweeted that, it was initially in response to the insert coin jackets. They've had the Majima and Kiryu ones they've had them on sale. They're like, oh, these are limited runs, they're going to sell out. And they always did sell out day of. They come from the UK, and for someone who lives in the States, shipping for those items was going to be $20. So I would essentially have been paying $100 for a jacket. And even when I had the disposable income, when I very well could have possibly paid it and not really been too affected, I still didn't. And it's not because I don't love Majima. It's because I had budgeting, I had that money set aside for other things prior. And sometimes you go, oh yeah, I want that now. And that's fine. But if, you gotta finance something, you gotta finance something. It doesn't mean you're less dedicated. And kind of the second thing I wanted to touch on, and again, this is unedited, and I might ramble a little bit, and I'm going to get very emotional at this. I just want to kind of tell what he means to me, because he means a lot. A thing I retweeted today said something about having a fictional character motivate you to make a change in your life is not silly, it's not stupid, it's not something to ridicule, it's perfectly valid to not be able to motivate yourself, but to be motivated by your favorite telling you that you can or you need to do something. So, for almost 3 years, I was in a relationship with a man, and not too long into the relationship, I started realizing that I was being emotionally and mentally abused and manipulated by him. I was largely financially dependent on him. He was paying for my phone. He was paying for groceries, and whenever we would go out to eat, he paid for any trips that he wanted us to go on together. If I wanted to go somewhere by myself, I paid for it myself with my money that I was earning from my job. And he paid for my dental work. I have extremely fucked up teeth. I was trying not to swear in this, but oh well. I have bad teeth, and when we met, they were rotting out of my head and causing me pain every single day. And he paid to fix them, and it just was, I was living in his house without having to pay for rent. I didn't have to contribute to utilities. I paid for my car insurance and gas in my car, and like I said, trips if I wanted to go on a trip by myself. And that was I was pretty much free, but freedom as far as I could pay for it. And so when I got into the Yakuza series, this was at his insistence, this guy. I got to the point where I had beaten the game. I had beaten 0, and I was doing the premium adventure stuff. And I decided, well, I wanted to... I found out about the unlockable 4th combat mode, the Mad Dog mode, and how to do it. And how to do it was doing the Cabaret Club stuff. The Cabaret Club stuff is something that, if it were made into its own game, even like a mobile game, I would play it. I would probably, put actual money into this game and play it. It's that addicting and that kind of comforting for me. It's a safe place for me. So going through that meant going on the dates with the girls and seeing the interactions with Majima and all of these girls and how respectful he was toward them. That was kind of my wake-up call. That was sort of him saying, no one deserves to be treated poorly. That sort of translated to me, you don't deserve to be treated poorly. You deserve better than how he's treating you. And it just clicked. And that was, excuse me, that was when I started planning to leave. It just occurred to me, he wouldn't treat me the way that my boyfriend is treating me, so why should I put up with it? And yeah, that was like the catalyst, and through my interaction with the community, with the fandom on Twitter and through Discord and things like that, and telling everybody, hey, this is how I'm being treated and I know that it's wrong and I just really need to vent to some people. And I felt a little silly at the time, but that was kind of my way of asking for validation. Like, am I shitty for going behind his back and planning to leave? Because I genuinely didn't know what he would do if I told him that I was going to be saving up money to move out. That I was looking for somewhere else to live, and all I had, and the community, kind of my friends that I had made, all saying, no, that's not, he's not treating you the way you deserve, so you don't owe him anything. And just like having them and having sort of the voice of Majima in my head over my shoulder whenever I felt guilty, and saying, no, it's okay, you don't have to feel this way, you deserve better. It was so important to me, and it helped me feel like I was doing the right thing, and I know that I did the right thing. And one thing that I wanted to, a little sort of anecdote I wanted to relay. Some people who have, cared to watch this far have already probably heard this story because I told it in Discord. The day that I did leave, I had my parents, they had come from out of state to help me pack. And when they weren't there and I had to finish packing by myself because they had to leave a little bit earlier, having sort of his voice encouraging me, it helped. I was still, it was emotional, but, all of that, it just helped. It just helped a lot to have everybody. And, when I was driving my car. I was moving from Indiana to Wisconsin. And I have a Walkman MP3 player which has a lot of the Yakuza, the karaoke songs on it. And I had it on shuffle. So, as I'm about to cross the Wisconsin state line and come home, 24-Hour Cinderella was finishing up. And then it went straight into Samurai Ondo. And it just, right as I was crossing the border into my home state, 2 of his songs back to back. Just, it just felt like a sign. It felt like he was there with me. And sounds silly, but it really just gave me the strength to know that I was doing the right thing for myself. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported me, who encouraged me, all my friends on Discord and in Twitter, and everyone in the fandom, and everyone on the team, the localization team, and everybody who worked to bring these games to the West. I also wanted to thank you guys. And I hope, that you guys have all watched this far. I know it's a really long video now, and a lot of it's kind of rambling, but yeah, that's what Majima means to me. That's why I love him so much. That's why I post about him all the time, and it goes beyond just simple attraction to the character. He's extremely special to me. And I hope that I get to tell everyone involved with bringing him to the West and all of that. I know it's gonna be impossible, but someday I really hope to thank everybody in relation to him for bringing him to life and for making him who he is, because who he is extremely important to who I am and what I've done for myself. And what I've done for myself recently is thanks to him. So, thanks. Thanks for watching. And I know he's a fictional character, but thank you, Majima, for being you.